Hey, what's up, YouTube? Israel back again with another fragrance review. Today I have a oldie but a goodie. I actually bought this one a while back and haven't done a review on it yet, and I really like it. So let's get to it. Quick story behind this one is that I was at Neiman Marcus one afternoon in Dallas at the North Park Mall, and I've been hearing everyone talk about Shalimar by Guerlain, and I was like, someone told me that it was unisex, that the woman's perfume would smell good on a man. I think I smelled it at a Sephora one day. Didn't think a man could pull it off, and so then I was at Neiman Marcus that day, and I talked to the Guerlain counter lady, and I asked her if there was anything that was similar to Shalimar that would smell good on a man. And the first thing she told me was Habit Rouge by Guerlain. This is a tester, 3.4 ounce. Got this on eBay, fairly inexpensive. But and she sprayed this on a little card for me. You know, like Guerlain has a little bitty black envelopes or whatever. She sprayed this on a card, and at first it kind of smelled like a lot of things that I've smelled before, kind of soapy and whatnot. But after a while, it turned really good and just gave me a lot of good feelings, good pictures in my mind's eye of what this smelled like. So anyway, so here's let's see here. So Guerlain, Habit Rouge. Let's see if I can put this in the deal here. Habit Rouge. It's from the Guerlain house. The nose of this is Jean-Paul Guerlain. We all know the Guerlain house, super popular for having Spiritual Double Vanille, Tonka Imperial, and of course the internet sensation Lidge, Lancement de Guerlain Extreme. And I did a review on that one a while back, so if you want to check that one out, please do. Let me just go ahead and put that there, maybe. Yeah, that might work. So anyway, the nose behind this is Jean-Paul Guerlain. It was released in 2003. And it's a reformulation version from the 1965 version, if that kind of tells you what year this was actually came out in. So yeah, from 1965, it's kind of probably going to smell a little dated and whatnot. This also has like 6 flankers. I think maybe 5 or 6 different flankers. So it's like Guerlain or Habit Rouge, Al Fresh, or just, they always had a bunch of spin-offs. I guess this is pretty popular back in the day because they made a bunch of other fragrances using the same name, kind of like they do today. You got to make a dollar or whatnot. And so, yes, and this is classified quickly sorry about that, guys. It's considered an Oriental Woody. Okay, sorry, forgot to write that down. And so the top notes consist of orange, basil, Brazilian rosewood, lemon, lime, tangerine, bergamot. The middle we got carnation, sandalwood, patchouli, jasmine, cinnamon, cedar, and rose. The base we round things off with labdanum, leather, amber, benzoin, oak moss, and vanilla. So you can tell kind of by that base that it's going to be kind of have some sweet undertones. And so right off the bat, I'm trying to move along with these. I always talk about how my videos take too long, so I'm trying to shorten up a little bit. Right off the bat, this is. I'll go ahead and put a little bit on so I can get a fresh take. Good, decent sprayer. By the way, so right when you spray it, you get just a blast of citrus, obviously, and a little bit of alcohol. But it's really, really strong citrus, kind of like a woody citrus. I mean, it's mainly citrus. Then after about 30 seconds, you can smell, to my nose anyway, I can smell a little bit of rose and a little bit of that leather starts coming in. And let's see here. So yeah, so it's woody, herbally, and citrus, okay, from the bat. And most of the time, most fragrances that kind of have that old school feel, well, they have a lot of citrus. So this is kind of reminiscent of the old school powerhouses, that have a lot of citrus at the beginning and the opening and stuff like that. But this really does take a turn for the better after a few minutes. So after about 15 or so minutes, it gets really, it stays Stays citrusy, but it lightens up on the citrus. But it gets powdery, and the vanilla starts to shine a lot more. It turns soft. Okay, it stays clean, but it gets softer, and the vanilla, it's like a citrusy, powdery vanilla. Um, Very clean and musky at the same time, and then leathery. Okay, but pretty much, throughout the scent of the life of the scent, it stays mainly um, citrusy and soapy, and the leather really does gives it that old feel. Um, this isn't your modern type of fragrance. This fragrance is actually probably more suited towards like a grandpa, maybe your dad or something like that. Because it's very, I mean, it came out in 1965. This stuff is probably gonna, if you bought it for your granddad or for your dad or something like that, it might remind him of his dad, or whatnot. Um, but it really does have a dated feel. It doesn't really remind me of anything else I've ever tried. I mean, doesn't it opens off very similar to a lot of other citrus scents that I've smelled before in the past, but this one just turns really sweet, sweet and leathery. So when you have citrus, sweet, and leather, with this particular fragrance, it really does, what it really made me think of after about 30 minutes of wearing this. Smells exactly. Now this is going to sound really stupid, and it's either or, okay? But I immediately got an old deck of cards, like an old deck of cards that you found like at grandma's house that she used to play canasta with her friends, and she left them sitting in the top drawer for like 20 years, and you go digging through grandma's drawer one day in the kitchen, and you find a pack of cards. That's exactly what it smells like. It has like that old leathery, like old papery, leathery, sweet vanilla type of, and only time can do that, with like paper. It also smells like old books. Like if you got an old book at the library, this is kind of a newer book, but if you had an old book at the library, like when you go into an old library, there's books that are just been there for years and years and years, and you don't know what year they got there, but you just come across a couple of the old books, and that's exactly what they smell like. Like just time has stained the paper and the sheets, and you just put your nose inside of that middle of that book. This is exactly what that smells like. Now, some people, you guys might think it's really stupid. Yeah, it sounds dumb, but it's actually like a very comforting scent. I like it. It's soapy and leathery and citrusy, and it just gives me a sense of like an old library or something. Like from elementary school or middle school. And so this is more of a personal thing with me, but and whenever I go to the library, I mean, I was at school and I was doing my thing, but those were the simpler times in life. Whenever you're at school and you didn't have to work and make and earn a living, you just kind of just did your thing at school and whatnot. But I mean, this is no modern scent though. I mean, the young cats out there, all the young bucks out there, won't like this fragrance. Really, I don't think this is for the older, more refined gentlemen. This is probably suit and tie. To be honest with you, maybe wearing a hat like this. After a little while smelling it, it's a gentleman's fragrance. I would describe this as an old world fragrance, like maybe 30s. I immediately when I smell this stuff, I think of like Sherlock Holmes, wearing like his London type of clothes. I think of like that kind of old world London Sherlock Holmes type of feel. And for I guess the American side of things, more like the like Indiana Jones, like that kind of, like I used to wear like all the brown, like he used to wear like the brown pants and like the leather belt with like his hat and everything like that with his whip, so you get the leather and you just get that old timey, that old 20s 30s feel from the movies. That's what this fragrance reminds me of. So this isn't going to be too popular with some of you guys out there, but if you guys are looking for a good old school scent, maybe to get your granddad or get maybe your dad who's a little bit older, definitely think about this. It's not too expensive. I'll leave the price at the link in the description below. But I mean, again, like it might not blow your socks off, but I really like this. I really enjoy this fragrance. I don't think I'm quite mature enough to pull it off because I'm only 33 and I don't really hang out in too many spots where there's too many old folks or like that, you know. But if I worked like at a retirement home or something, I would wear this just to kind of let the old folks reminisce, you know, because I bet if they smell this, they'd be like, oh, this reminds me of being a kid, or this reminds me of being in my 20s whenever it was back in the day when I was a young guy, you know. Yeah, I mean, it pretty much, and this stuff lasts a while, you know. I gave it really good marks, you know. The longevity, it's probably 6 to 8 hours. Decent sillage. You get like a sweet leather. I mean, it's just like an old school feel. It has a dry dirtiness to it, but not in a bad way. It's just kind of an earthy, kind of a dirt dryness to it, like that. Kind of like, I always, whenever I talk about dirt, like a dirt feel, I always think of Chanel Mademoiselle. Like, I love that fragrance on women, and that, to me, that smells like, I always explain Chanel Mademoiselle as that dirt smell right before it rains, you know, and a little bit of rain hits, and you get that smell, that dirt and rain. This kind of has a little bit of that. The Habit Rouge has a little bit of that, just a little bit of that earthiness to it. But I mean, I just automatically just picture like leather and like leather bound books and old school, like old yellow time faded paper in the books, old newspapers, old deck of cards. It smells just like that. And again, it sounds silly. I understand that, but that's just what my nose picks up and my brain picks up. You know, so if you guys ever smelt that, and I promise you, if you smell that and you know what I'm talking about, you'll be like, nah, that fool was right, because that's just what I pick up, you know. But it's a good fragrance. I mean, I would give it like a 9 out of 10, honestly, just because that's me personally, though. That's just me, you know. There's tons of fragrances out there that I like and a bunch that I hate. But this one, I mean, just really did surprise me for the price point and everything. I think it was like $35 for the tester, and it just brought me a lot of cool little pictures in my mind's eye of what this smelled like, and so it's more of a personal thing with me, how, you know, why I liked it. I'll give it like a 9 out of 10. You know, it lasts, you know, I think, what did I say, 6 to 7 hours, something like that. A good solid 4 to 6 for sure. If you spray it on your clothes, obviously it'll last longer. But I definitely would wear this with like a sweater. I mean, this is good for, like, I think this is pretty good winter fragrance. You know, winter, spring, fall. You know, I don't know if it'll be cloying in the summer, but I don't think it would fit the mood. I think it has to be cooler outside for this really to work its magic. But it's not like super strong. It's not a beast or anything like that, you know. But if you apply enough of it, it will be a beast. But I think if you just, you know, wear it kind of just moderately, you know, you should be okay. But yeah, so, you know, Habit Rouge, kind of, you know, just kind of under the radar fragrance. I don't know if there's that many reviews online about this one, but definitely worth a shot. I mean, it's cheap enough to pick up a bottle, and if anything, you know, if you don't like it, you can always gift it to your granddad or to your dad or somebody and see what they think, you know. But I think it's a good fragrance, you know. Like I said before, you know, you know, wearing a corduroy jacket with like a hat like this, it's nice and cool outside, you know. That's just pretty much the kind of wardrobe I think would be, you know, very old school, old world, you know, England, Paris maybe, you know, in Paris. But yeah, so that's Habit Rouge by Guerlain. My quick little review. Try to keep it under 15 minutes. And yeah, give it a shot, you know, check it out. And I'll give it a 9 out of 10, you know, decent for most cool seasons. You'll get the job done. And sweet, leathery, herbally, green almost. A little bit of green in there. But yeah, so this is Israel with Dollars and Cents. Trying to get another video out to you guys real soon. I just wanted to get this one out of the way because it's been sitting on my shelf for about 3 or 4 months now, and I haven't given any love yet. So I wanted to put it out there and introduce this one to you guys if you haven't tried it yet. So just another hidden gem from the Guerlain house. And yeah, so you guys take care of yourselves. Let me know what your scent of the day is. Let me know if you smell this one or not. If you like it or if you hate it, let me know what you think. And rate, comment, subscribe. You know, the routine. Rate, comment, subscribe. And y'all take care until the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.